It was one of those rare weekends when our parents had to be away. Mom and Dad were headed to a cousin's wedding 3 hours away, and they figured my younger brother and I were old enough to manage things on our own. At 16, I was responsible, and my 12-year-old brother, Ethan, was mature for his age most of the time. I was excited at first. No parents for 2 full days meant some quiet time, maybe a little freedom, and definitely a break from the constant check-ins. But I also knew I had a job to do. Make sure Ethan didn't burn the house down or spend all day playing video games. We'd been close when we were younger, but as I'd gotten older, our interests diverged. He liked superheroes, video games, and building Lego sets. I had shifted toward music, photography, and hanging out with my friends. We still shared jokes and movie nights once in a while, but truthfully, we hadn't spent quality time together in months. After our parents left that Saturday morning, I settled into the couch with my phone, planning to scroll through videos and text my friends. Ethan walked into the room, holding a bag of microwave popcorn and looking at me expectantly. "Want to watch a movie?" he asked. "We could start the Avengers marathon again." I glanced up at him. He had that eager look I remembered from when he used to beg me to play catch or ride bikes together. I sighed, part of me tempted to brush him off, but another part of me felt that pull of nostalgia. "Sure," I said finally, "but I'm picking the first one." His face lit up like I'd just promised him a trip to Disneyland. We spent most of the morning watching movies, sprawled out on the living room floor like we used to when we were kids. It was weird at first, like stepping into an old pair of shoes I hadn't worn in a while. But the comfort of it surprised me. We laughed at the same jokes, argued over our favorite characters, and recited lines from memory. By noon, we were hungry, and I realized I had no idea what to cook. I could microwave stuff, sure, but I wanted to make it a little more fun for Ethan. That's when I got the idea. "Hey," I said as I pulled out a couple of cookbooks from the kitchen shelf, "how about we try cooking something together? You know, actually make lunch instead of nuking pizza rolls." He raised an eyebrow. "Like, real cooking, with fire and knives?" I laughed. "Yes, Chef Ethan. With fire and knives, but safely." He looked uncertain but intrigued. "Okay, what are we making?" I flipped through the pages and found a simple recipe for mac and cheese from scratch. It sounded like something we could manage and something he'd enjoy. We gathered the ingredients, boiled the pasta, melted cheese and butter, and stirred in the spices. There was flour flying through the air at one point and shredded cheese all over the counter, but Ethan was into it. He measured everything carefully, asked questions, and even got a little competitive about getting the noodles just right. When we finally sat down to eat, I was surprised at how good it tasted. Ethan took a bite and gave me a thumbs up. "Best mac and cheese ever," he said with his mouth full. I grinned, proud of both the meal and the moment. After we cleaned up, mostly me, since he conveniently disappeared for most of the dishwashing, we decided to take the afternoon outside. It was sunny, cool, and perfect for biking. I hadn't ridden my bike in weeks, maybe months, but Ethan was always out there zipping around the neighborhood. "Race you to the park," he challenged. "You're on," I said, hopping on my old mountain bike. We rode down the block, laughing, yelling at each other, and dodging sprinklers from nearby lawns. The park was empty, so we ditched the bikes and climbed the old jungle gym. It was too small for me now, but Ethan made it work. We played a game of horse on the basketball court, and even though he wasn't quite tall enough to win, he gave it everything he had. I let him win the last round, and he knew it, but he didn't say anything. He just smiled. On the way home, we stopped at the corner store. I gave him a few bucks and told him to pick out some snacks. He came back with gummy worms, root beer, and a comic book. "You still read those?" I teased. He shrugged. "Yeah, why not? They're cool." I nodded, realizing that in many ways, Ethan still clung to the things we used to love. I had moved on from them so quickly, maybe too quickly. That night, I offered to let him stay up late and play video games in the living room. "Really?" he asked, shocked. "With you? Why not?" I said. "It's not like we have school tomorrow." We spent the evening battling aliens and racing cars, yelling at the TV and trash-talking like pros. I hadn't played seriously in a long time, But it all came back. And so did the fun. Somewhere in the middle of a Mario Kart match, Ethan paused the game and looked at me. "Thanks for today," he said. "It's been awesome." I shrugged, pretending to be casual, but I felt a little sting behind my eyes. "Yeah, me too, little dude." The next morning, I woke up earlier than him and decided to make breakfast. Pancakes, eggs, the works. He stumbled into the kitchen with bed hair and a sleepy smile. "You cooked again." "Don't get used to it," I said, flipping a pancake. "But yeah, thought I'd finish strong." We ate on the porch and watched the neighborhood come to life. Dogs barked, lawnmowers buzzed, and the sun climbed higher. It felt peaceful, like something out of a movie. When our parents got home later that afternoon, they were surprised to find the house still standing and clean. Mom hugged us both and asked how it went. Ethan was the first to speak. "It was the best weekend ever," he said. I smiled and nodded. "Yeah, it was." That night, after everyone went to bed, I stayed up for a while thinking. I realized how much I had missed my brother without even knowing it. Growing up had pulled us apart in ways I didn't notice until now. But spending those 2 days together, cooking, playing, just hanging out, had brought something back. A connection. A sense of home that didn't depend on walls or rules, but on moments. I knew we'd probably drift again, life being what it is. But I also knew we had a solid memory now, something to look back on. And maybe that was enough. As I lay in bed, I heard a soft knock on my door. "Yeah," I said. Ethan peeked in. "Just wanted to say good night." I smiled. "Good night, Ethan." He lingered for a second. "We could do it again sometime, if you want." "Yeah," I said softly. "I'd like that." And just like that, the door closed. But something else opened, something better.